Music
on RN.
I love, I think writing should be really fun, It's like, I always think when you read something you love, you want to or you hear something you love, I always want to just recreate the feeling for myself of hearing something that I loved. And I started listening, Mississippi John Hurt was one of these characters that I loved. I started listening to him when I was first playing guitar, and he was great. He was recorded for the first time in the 1920s in Avalon, Mississippi, and then he went completely the world kind of passed him by in music until he just was kind of somebody found him again in the same place 40 years later, and here was this guy who was a great player. I always thought if my grandpa had been a musician, he would have been Mississippi John Hurt, funny guy, and so I heard a song called Lewis Collins that he wrote, and I loved it so much, and I've always loved it. And in the meantime, I love lots of folk songs, and I thought it would be great to get them all together. Some Barbara Allen and Delia and Stack Lee and Lewis Collins, and just crash them into each other for fun. Because folk songs are violent, so you might as well make them all the way violent. Why have just one person die?
And one of the characters gets the ultimate revenge in your song. The character that Stackerly originally kills ends up being the judge.
Yeah.
Nice little turn.
Thanks for noticing. That's awesome.
Well, I think we have to hear it now, don't we?
I'll go for it. Yeah. All right, here we are. Yeah. Awesome. Here we are. This is folk Bloodbath. Lewis Collins took a trip out west, and when he returned, little Delia'd gone to rest. The angels laid her away. Lewis said to Delia, that's the sad thing with life, there's people always leaving just as other folks arrive. The angels laid her away. And when the people heard that Delia was dead, all of them gentlemen, they dressed in red. The angels laid her away. Angels laid her away, laid her 6 feet under the clay. The angels laid her away. Well, Lewis went downtown for a new suit of clothes. He's gonna dress up for Delia like a fine red rose. And the angels laid him away. He bought a 10-gallon Stetson, and it was ox blood red. And then Stackerly shot Lewis in the back of the head. And the angels laid him away. Well, Stackerly said to Lewis, oh now, don't you grieve. I'm sending you to Delia, you won't ever have to leave. And the angels laid him away. Angels laid him away, laid him 6 feet under the clay. The angels laid him away. Well, the judge was a mean one. His name was Hanging Billy Lyons. He said, you always been a bad man, Stack, you're gonna hang this time. And the angels lay you away. And the jailer said to Stackerly, what's the problem with you? Oh, jailer, Lewis Collins' ghost brought Delia's with him too. And the angels laid him away. The angels laid him away, laid him 6 feet under the clay. The angels laid him away. Oh, they buried little Delia in the churchyard deep, with Lewis Collins at her head and Stackley at her feet. The angels laid them away, and out of Delia's bed came briars, and out of Lewis' bed a rose, and out of Stackley's came Stackley's cold, lonely little ghost, and the angels laid them away. And I'm looking over rooftops, and I'm hoping that it ain't true, that the same God looks out for them, looks out for me and you. Oh, the angels laid them away. The angels laid them away. The angels laid them away. Thank you.
It's a murder ballad with an all-star cast. Josh Ritter performing live in our Music Deli studios for RN.
RN, a world of ideas.
abc.net.au/Radio National.